Hey everyone, this amazing ESO Network show is brought to you by our fine sponsor, Amazon.com. Please remember to shop Amazon for all your geeky needs, no matter what time of the year it is. All you need to do is go to esopodcast.com/ESO Amazon, or click on the Amazon banner on the ESO Network webpage to go to our e-store. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, that's enough of me babbling for now. Now on with your regular scheduled show.
Hey everyone, venture into the pop culture cosmos today, where you'll hear our conversations on different topics within the world of movies, TV, video games, comic books, technology, board gaming, and more. You'll also get a taste of some of our other shows within the cosmos as well. So come on and join us each week as we delve into the pop culture cosmos.
Welcome to the pop culture cosmos.
So, back at the park again, are we?
So it would seem.
Like a running theme. We're out of the car, but at least we're getting fresh air.
That's the smell. Okay.
That's the smell of fun and rain, sort of.
Life in South Florida. Isn't it a dream?
No, life is a dream. Whatever. I was doing Star Trek 5.
You want a marshmallow?
Yeah, marshmallow. Why they didn't include that joke and play it out completely? He was just...
They sing row, row your boat. What else do you want?
I know, but that whole thing with Dr. McCoy changing the marshmallows in the data banks really kind of killed me. Of course, you would know that if you listened to my Star Trek 100th episode.
I listened to it.
In passing.
I was drunk cooking.
I think I did. So, nonetheless, we move on. So, today being Wednesday, we saw this within a week. Wonder Woman. Which is rare. At least for me. Because...
I actually wanted to be part of the opening weekend crowd for this week. It got such good reviews.
And I was just like... I
wouldn't mind. I'll go first thing in the morning on Friday.
Right.
I have no problem with that.
I was really kind of disappointed. Like, I really want to support this weekend. You know, be a part of that.
Give it the big box office.
Yeah, because I think when I went, I pushed it over to 103.5 million, not just 100 million.
Did you get popcorn? Okay.
No, because we're going to Cheesecake Factory afterwards. Because we were in Aventura, which, you know, we saw this in 3D on top of that.
Was it better in 3D?
No, it didn't do anything in 3D.
No, I don't think it did.
The only
converted over to 3D.
Yeah, the only thing that I appreciated were some of the flying sequences, like especially the last shot of one.
Whee!
I'm like,
oh, look, I've got my potential. I can fly.
Anywhere.
You can fly.
And she doesn't even have to clap her hands or anything. She just...
Doesn't even need tink.
Or a jet, apparently. We don't have an invisible jet. Which I'm like...
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Because...
That's a dated concept.
It is. Because they wouldn't have the technology on a bunch of...
That is now considered stupid. It's just stupid. This is your idea, first director of Wonder Woman? No. You're off the film.
But they had it in the TV series.
Trying to update it.
Exactly. Which I'm glad kind of Linda Carter was part of the premiere, but not in the movie. Which
I kind of wanted her in the movie.
Right.
Just a walk, just something.
Yeah.
No.
Not even the mom.
You get a thank you at the end.
Yeah.
Your name's to thank you to Linda Carter. Okay. So we are doing a spoiler review on Wonder Woman, so that you know.
Yeah.
You should say that.
And it would have been nice to have a female perspective on this podcast, but we're just two guys, don't have any females right now. One day we can.
But we clothe our females. Unless you have dollar bills in a certain place. South Miami. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Cheetah Club. Oh, what was it? The place that we went to? My bachelor.
Oh God.
Alley Cat.
Sure. Yes.
Okay, Alley Cat.
Whatever.
Okay. But I think that's closed or whatever.
I have no idea.
Whatever.
I don't do that stuff anymore. I'm no longer a young man.
I just look it on the internet now. $1 at a time. Well, you know.
Malware? What? No, God, no.
What do you mean infected? Delete.
Warning, your computer has been infected by...
Call Microsoft now to release your computer. Hello, Microsoft? Yeah? You got stuck, huh? You pay us $100. Anywho, so Wonder Woman.
What a wonder. Wonder Woman.
We don't have to wonder anymore.
No.
It is, I think, I'm glad, one, that it happened in our lifetime. It took 75 years.
I'm glad it took away the top female-directed film from 50 Shades of Grey.
Was it? I thought it was
50 Shades of Grey.
I thought it was Hurt Locker.
No, it's 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
85 million.
Okay.
It took the number one spot for that.
Yeah.
God.
So I guess the action sequence is the beating up part. Because I don't see that being like an action movie.
I didn't see it. I have no
Right,
interest
neither
in
do
that
I.
genre of
Not to have an interest.
strange S&M
The
romance
pictures,
film.
yes, but not the movie. So
Could you do this film? Could you just... This shot, this one...
So, right off the bat, this is redemption for Patty for getting booted off Thor 2. Because, not that I'm saying that Thor 2 would have been better if Patty stayed on, but the fact that it was a female director that for a Marvel property, it would have been a great thing for them to have. But because they now look like they're lacking diversity with directors, they don't have any female leads in their heroes that will get a Miss Marvel someday soon in the next couple of years.
Why do you hate Marvel so much?
No, I'm just saying.
They're just the studio. It doesn't
When
matter.
you have two properties like comic books, how do you make yourself different from each other? Especially when it comes to the movies. You have superheroes on both ends. They both have powers on both ends. What's going to make them different? Diversity. So we see right now, we have Wonder Woman. We're going to get Suicide Squad, the female version of that, like a smaller, not birds of prey, but a small group of villains and heroes, so to speak, an all-female cast.
Go ahead. Sirens,
Right.
Before that.
And Marvel has yet to do anything like that. All their heroes...
They've got Captain Marvel.
Right, that's
which
it.
is awfully similar to Hal Jordan, which... Yeah, I don't know what they're doing
Right.
with that. They don't know what they're doing with that yet. But they have to up their schedule now.
Right. We'll get Black Panther, which is great because the cast is going to be primarily African-American, but that's still years away. So if you look at everything that Marvel has done so far, no matter how good the movies are, which you and I both enjoy and love, it doesn't show enough diversity on their part. Everything has always been white male heroes.
Well, there was a perfect storm that was brewing, though, for this. This
was.
film couldn't be better timed if you try. I mean, Scarlett Johansson just a few months came out with Ghost in the Shell,
Right.
but which was the female lead
Right.
thing, but it didn't hit because it's too anime, too niche, too weird
Right.
for mainstream America.
And we couldn't get a Black Widow movie.
That is faith
Right.
in Scarlett Johansson's character, which they,
And she was blocked out from the action figure lines from the Avengers Age of Ultron.
okay,
which
there is sexism out there. That's true.
Right. So I think this is the problem in which Wonder Woman was going to be facing, but thankfully the movie is doing extremely well in the box office. We're both going to buy action figures of Wonder Woman for...
Put it on our desks. Put it on
That's
our
it.
desks.
Put it on. Whether it's open or not, I don't care. It's on the desk. And we'll clean it later. But it's one of those is that the marketing embraces the fact that you have a female character. Let's have some toys to support that character. And now Disney is going back and kind of, not retroconning, but putting back, like, there's the Guardians of the Galaxy, there's Gamora, and there's the Avengers set, and there's Black Widow, part of like this, 6 or 7, 8 pack. of characters, the tall, the
the Diamond Direct, Diamond Select figures, yeah.
So they're at least doing that.
But that was always in their plan.
Eventually. But the backlash was that boys would not play with girl figures.
Boys may not, but you're right. Most of the kids are buying the stuff. Collectors will, but collectors are a small market.
Right.
Doesn't really matter. You're going to pay your $100 and whatever for your Japanese imported whatever hot toys,
or go to Tate's and just save on shipping, but pay up the wazoo because it's imported. Yeah. So going in, we saw just the brief touches of Wonder Woman in the Batman vs. Superman movie, which by many accounts, including us, believe that's probably one of the best, maybe the only few things about Batman vs. Superman was worthy of just watching her fight.
Yeah, and Batfleck.
And Batfleck, yes.
Batfleck was those are the only two redeeming qualities I think of that movie that I enjoyed. And the soundtrack, which they carry over into her film.
Which I'm glad they did. Yeah. I was kind of like a little apprehensive with that dun dun dun.
In the beginning, you were like,
that's kind of weird, but now that I've seen the trailer a couple of times and it's like no, it's fine, it works, it's fine. But watching the movie, because it's let's go back to we were talking about before, with the fact that Wonder Woman is very naive. Her perception about the world around her was that it was kind of like, I can solve the world's problems by just doing this one thing, kill Ares, and I can solve it all. And I think it sounds kind of like what Trump thinks he can do. Trust me, I know what I can do. I can take
I can solve the problem.
Right. But it was one of those things that no matter how many times she kept saying it, I have to kill Ares, I don't have a father, it just sounds kind of like weird for her to say it out loud. And Steve Trevor, who was the outsider coming in, it's like, all right, fine, I'll just go along with whatever you said, that you know who your father is, but you were not made out of clay. You don't need to kill Ares, the god of war, because he doesn't exist. But
that's the thing, he never confronts her.
No, he goes along.
Yeah.
He just accepts.
He's like, okay, crazy lady.
Fine, okay.
Okay, Dr. Jones, you do whatever you... But he sees things in Themyscira. He sees kind of what she can do, but not her full potential.
Right.
That was the interesting thing about the film for me. I really enjoyed the story, the dialogue, just the whole setup. From the moment it starts, it does the story right. It's not dark. She's not brooding. She's pure. She's full of idealism.
Right.
And such a belief in mankind. And she's sweet, and just is there to solve problems. And she knows she's naive, but she speaks her mind.
Right.
Some amazing scenes. I think when she convinces, she goes along with Steve to deliver the book, and they're like, "Why is there a woman in this room?" I was like, "Oh, that's so."
Yeah.
What is happening? And this the bureaucracy, and then the whole idea of like, no, we have to go. Like, no, we're gonna let the people die. It's fine. It's like, you're gonna let the people die?
Right, you're a
general. Where I'm from,
Well,
generals go down, they die with their troops in the war. I'm like, that is an amazing scene.
Right. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, it's empowering to see, because in that time you're never going to get a woman who's going to be able to say those things without getting, either shut down or put into jail like the suffragists did, trying to get their right to speak their minds. So it's kind of nice to have someone in that time just say crap that you want them to say if they were in that situation.
But the things that she says, it's not just... It's a timeless statement.
Yes.
Because the world has changed. The world is more complex, even for us to understand. There's so many people in the world.
Right.
And, 5% of the rich people control the 95% of us?
Right.
It's kind of like, that's kind of screwed up. And yet everyone should have their say.
Yes.
And yet, here in the United States, where we voted for, the popular vote goes to Hillary Clinton. And yet...
That's this. Yeah.
It's a strange...
Yeah.
That's not how that should work. But okay.
It's whatever. But that's what I think what struck me when I watched this movie. I'm like, I felt a little hokey about the dialogue and her sincerity being really honest. Because I'm like, maybe it's me that's just so jaded with the way the world is that I'm like, I couldn't appreciate the fact that, no, there are people that can be like this and see the world a certain way, that it is bright and is happy. Because we've been in such darkness for such a long time, it's hard to remember those good times. No good times theme songs here. But that's the kind of feeling that I'm like, no, this is a movie that has hope.
This movie was so refreshing to me. It took me a while to get into it, but it was so beautiful. The mascara was wonderful.
Yeah.
Fine. Obvious some green screen shots there, but the way it took its time, the way you explore the culture, the cuteness of Diana always running away, and the character building with that.
Right.
Your tutors are going to get angry, and you teach her harder, you train her harder than anyone else. It kept building on itself.
It did.
Which I really enjoyed. I completely believed her character. The funny thing, though, I was like, why are they talking that way? Why is Robin Wright talking with these thick Romanian accents? like we're in Europe. Is it like, okay, so all Imperial officers in Star Wars have to talk British? I'm like,
right.
No, the answer to that question, I think, is that Gal Gadot plays Gal Gadot. She can't do an American accent. So we're all going to do her accent. Just go with it.
Or something like it.
Something like that. Just everyone talk with that.
But it's fine.
It works.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be American. And that was the whole idea that
but her costume is red, white, and gold now.
Gold, yeah. It's gold, not
red,
white.
blue, and gold
no
now.
stars.
No stars. Not America, but we're just going to tweak that.
It's subtle. It doesn't say, you're American. You just... You kind of have to think of that character as being global.
It's growing, right. It's a world thing.
Right. It's like truth, justice, and not the American way, but something else.
The kind-hearted, loving way.
Right. So, you have to, take away the propaganda that we have in the 40s of these superheroes that we thought they'll fight for us, but, no, it's kind of brainwashing in a bit. So...
But the story for me, just the whole thing, it's 2.5 hours long. I didn't feel it. I was completely immersed in the movie. I thought the humor was great. It felt very much like the 1980 Superman movie for a while. Very pure, very imaginative, a lot of fun, very spontaneous and clean in that, even though there's some jokes that, what's the rating of this movie? It's PG, right? That was a dick joke. That was above average.
Yeah. And he's holding his scrotes, and I'm like, okay.
I was like, I haven't seen that since Splash and Tom Hanks. God,
But in fairness, there's beefcake now for those who have been forced to, as girlfriends, watch their female counterparts be on the screen exploited the same way. Kind of like Enterprise, that no one watches, but it has that exact same feel. It's just like, no, let's not have just the women in underwear. Let's put the men in underwear. So,
and then they rub the cream on each other.
Yeah,
which just an Enterprise thing. Okay, but I was really pleased with it. I just the fact that it got it right.
Yes,
and it took our negative society, all the negative brooding from the former DCU movies, and it just said, no, we're not doing that. We're doing something different. We're doing an origin story. We've got away from that timeline enough. We're doing Wonder Woman's origin story. She's sweet. She's idealistic. She believes in her cause.
She's funny.
And she's naive, but good-hearted, and just wants to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. And just the sweet moments like, oh, a baby. How do you fight in this?
You should be honored to be making such streets. Oh my God.
That's from Justice League.
Right.
That's from War.
Right.
It was just very full of Easter eggs.
Exactly. So I wanted those moments that I love in those animated scenes. I'm glad they put them into this movie.
And the banter between Chris Pine and Gal Gadot was amazing and fun.
Yeah, very easy. It was just, they were kinship almost. And I can believe that relationship being equal, not necessarily being one-sided, meaning that because she has power, she has to do all the heavy lifting. She's part there, and he has to pick up his stuff and help along the way. And you talked about the perfect example with the holding down the fire in No Man's Land with the shield.
Right.
She's like, all right, I'm being shot at.
I'm pinned down. They're shooting at me because I keep moving.
Right.
I can dodge bullets. You guys, can you take that up? Throw the grenades. That'd be helpful. Thank you.
Go around, do your job.
Thank you. My arm is getting tired. Let's.
Or like when she's fighting Ares and Steve takes the airplane and does that whole self-sacrificing moment.
Which I really like the way they did that in a backwards kind of Buffy way. The way that, like, there's an explosion, she can't hear, he runs her. It's just, and it's like, all right, and then here, take the watch, and then I'm going to run away, and then in your darkest moment, you're going to remember or think you remember what I said. It's going to clear up, just as like Buffy as she falls from the tower in the end of the 5th season against Glory.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's like, that's really sweet.
Yeah. So, and again, one of the things that I thought about is like, if you had a male who is going to be the second banana to a strong female character, he will be the male version of damsel in distress, and that was never the case.
No, he's self-sufficient.
Right. And so, again, you have to be on equal footing. And the other thing, too, is that if you remember in the Wonder Woman TV series, her belt had her strength, and so she took off the belt, she was just as mortal as any other man or woman. So that was never the issue because it was always working together. And that was her strength right from the very beginning.
And she doesn't know her potential.
Right.
She realizes her potential. Like, should we tell her? No, that'll just distract Ares. She'll find out her own.
Right.
A instruction manual would have been nice. I know it's not like Greatest American Hero, but...
And then you're going to lose the instructions, and then the second season you find it, but then you shrink down too small, and then you grow up too big, and then you can't find it anymore, so you lose it again. So
you remember that.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember when they switched over from William Cat to that girl for a while?
No.
There was
really?
What a trip is that?
Oh.
I don't know.
Connie Sullivan was Great American Hero.
I know it's her, but it was just someone else.
Someone other than curly hair, William Cat.
Who then does B-grade adult things. Just
Enough with the cat.
He needs to work.
Enough the cat. I love House, not the TV show. There was a horror movie.
I liked House too.
Yeah,
yes.
so it was good.
And there was a House too. Also.
Yes, there was. The House series never won anywhere with me. So.
There was the puppy killer, the puppy caterpillar thing. I don't know.
So one of the things because I do is I listen to the soundtrack ahead of time. And
is that available on Hulu?
On Hoopla.
Oh, Hoopla. Is it there? I looked for it. I couldn't find it yesterday.
Friday morning, I looked it up and there it is finally. So I downloaded it and started listening to it. And I got as far as No Man's Land. Because I'm waiting for the damn theme song to come in. And I'm like...
The song that you know.
The song you know. And I'm waiting for it. There it is. No Man's Land. So when I saw the movie and they mentioned No Man's Land, I'm like... This is going to be fucking good. This is going to be fucking good. And it did deliver everything I wanted in that song ahead of time. So when she does go into the town of Veld, and the moment that just blew me away is Steve has this idea. I'm going to get this thing.
Diana, shield!
And she runs.
I'm trying to do this. I got it.
And then leaps into the Tower Bell and then desolates that thing. Completely, I collapsed because this is fucking A. That is the kind of working relationship that you have an equal partner that understands who you are and does his part so you can do your part. That was amazing. And that's, I think, to me, the greatest part of the whole movie is No Man's Land. So even though
that's the reveal of her costume,
right? But it's everything. Everything you wanted. Her with the lasso, with the sword play, with the physical action, everything about that just blows me away. Now, if we get to the finale, which is going to be a little more of a letdown, to me, there's a raccoon. Hi, Rocket.
We're in a public park recording this, and there's a raccoon about, 5 feet away?
Yeah, it's a trash panda. Take a picture, Gene, so I can post this. Oh.
Give me a second. Don't go anywhere. No, come back. There's pizza. Wait. Focus. Nervous.
Here, taste this. No, I got a sensitive palate. But I'm going to save you 15% on car insurance from Geico.
Bye. All right.
So going back to the movie. I'm sorry.
Random.
So, from that point on, that was the highlight of the whole movie for me, is No Man's Land sequence. So when she finally gets to have her battle with, I forgot the German character guy, the bad guy.
Whomever.
Who she believes is Ares. Turns out not to be Ares. Just some random dude that she just killed. Just staked him right through.
But the funny thing was that my name is so-and-so. I present Themyscira for crimes against humanity, blah, blah. Like, wow, hi, my name is Inigo Montoya. I gotta do it again later on when I get the correct Ares guy. I start saying the same thing. I'm like, okay, this movie.
You were almost there, but not quite. But it wasn't so much that I didn't know Ares was going to be in the movie. I knew he was going to be in the movie because of the
action figure.
The action figure.
The Lego set.
And not the trailer that I watched. Because I didn't want to see anything about that. So
you try.
Right. So the reveal of who he was at the very end, I'm like, oh, it's that guy. All right. So it's the least... it's like, Head of Candy is Ares. That kind of thing. It just comes out of nowhere. But apparently he was always meant to be there. That's fine. I don't care about that. We just didn't... Here's Ares. That's who your villain's going to be. Here's my nitpick at the moment.
Please.
Ares, I know you show the backstory, and there you are, a fallen god, and you had that porn mustache going on.
CGI, terrible.
And then you're still with it after all these years. A little grayer, but then you're still keeping that stash with the helmet on. I'm like, dude, I could not get away from the stash.
I know. There's a shot he rolls, and you see his eyes, and you're like, no.
Or at least do a beard or a goatee.
Could you mutate somewhat? You're going to be 3 times big.
Right,
no.
or something that distracts me away from the stash. That was the one thing that I'm like, oh my God, really? This is the thing that's going to be a crawl on my ass. It's the mustache. So, that was my thing.
My question was, why did Robin Wright sacrifice herself? You know that she's special. There's no children on Themyscira. You know that you trained her 5 times harder, so therefore you know she's probably stronger. They're projectile weapons.
Yeah.
I get, and maybe your first instinct is, no, must protect the chosen one. But still, it's like, she's going to be fine. She's got a mutant healing factor. She gets grazed. And the question is, bullets are annoying for her, but you can pick up a tank. That means your muscle density is amazing.
Or not.
But you have these grids that you don't want to get hit because it's annoying or something.
But no one else has that. No one else has to brace this.
But she knows.
Right. She instinctively knows.
Her sister had this goddaughter. And you should know. But okay, fine.
Yeah.
And your lesbian lover comes to you and sad. I know. It was nice. Fine.
But I love the fact that there was a diverse cast of Amazons. Of course, not one-breasted Amazons, true Amazons, but it was diverse enough that it was like, thank you that we have black women on the screen. And not just, everyone looking the same. All blonde and blue-eyed. Everyone was different, but they were all Amazons.
Did you get any Xena Warrior Princess vibes out of the movie?
No, I was
I was looking for that, but I'm like, no, it doesn't
it didn't come across at all.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so I was just like, but that was like, Lucy Lawless would have been perfect as Wonder Woman back in the day.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect if the woman who plays Lady Sif, who's now doing the...
Janet Alexander.
Right, doing Blind
Jamie
Spot.
Alexander, yeah.
Which I'm like, after that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode, I'm like, no.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ruins more people. So sure, I'll come on your show for less money, and I'm done.
And I'm like, no, you forget that's Wonder Woman.
You shouldn't have chosen this. Your agents hey, you did the original movie. Want to try to boost your career? All right, it failed. Yeah, go do Blind Spot.
So, but I couldn't think for the life of me that I would have said, yeah, let's go with Gal Gadot. Never would I have thought about her having that presence, the integrity of that character, that it's like the Tobey Maguire watching Peter Parker, that you can go and you can feel empathy for a character like that because he's like all of us that goes through hard times.
I think Gal Gadot understands the character. She may not understand the words on the screen, the page that she has to read very well, but she understands the meaning behind the words. And she has that passion for that. Just like Patty Jenkins, like, no, I want to do this movie. I need to do this movie.
Right.
I'm a big Wonder Woman fan. I can do this. And if you look at the behind the scenes stuff, she's doing every pose. Like, okay, so I want you to do this. Hold your arm up like this, not like that, like this, and look like this. Look amazing. Just the vision that Patty Jenkins had, the humor that the writers had, the way that Gal Gadot pulls it off. Because she gets just what she's supposed to be doing. I mean, there's a duck. Behind the words.
So a duck walks by. You got any waves? So yeah, it works on so many different levels, from the acting, the directing, the writing. And again, even though the finale didn't really wow me enough, I didn't want to feel jaded. It's like, no, this movie just didn't work for me. I'm like, no, because again, as I told you, my wife and my daughter were sitting with me, and a lot of the women in the movie theaters were really cheering on Wonder Woman every time she was in an action scene. And that's the kind of thing that I'm like, I want more of that for them.
And for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For me, yes. But we've been getting so many of all that already that it's like, it's time to have someone else take the reign. There's a moment in which you talked to me before, and this is kind of your personal thing. It's that you want to be able to be with a woman that can go ahead and you can follow her lead. Mm-hmm. You don't have to always be the one that's leading.
Lead together.
Right.
Be a team.
Right. So that's exactly what I saw, and I'm like, that's the kind of thing that you always want to see. We're not on 50-50 with all the superhero movies.
No.
We're like 90% and maybe 10%, with 90 heavy on men. So we're not even close to that ratio, but I want to see more of that ratio become even over time.
Well, this is the icebreaker. Hopefully Hollywood will pay attention to this.
Hopefully they will.
Hopefully, well, I don't know how we feel about Patty Jenkins coming back and directing the second movie. She hasn't signed on yet, but...
Well, she doesn't have to. She can wait.
Yeah.
She can do anything she
wants.
You
enjoy your time now,
right.
Sweetie.
Because, again, you had been kicked off Thor 2.
You've directed one movie before, but it was Monster with Charlize Theron.
Which is amazing. And I think that's what it is, that you need to have a compelling character. No matter how hideous this character was, and seeing how ugly Charlize Theron
becomes.
Right. It's hideous, but it's engaging. And I think what you have to focus on, like with any superhero movies, is that, and I did this perfectly in Luke Cage, is that you have to have a drama with characters that are interesting and supporting casts. If you don't do that, the action is meaningless. Everyone that was not performing in the scenes, I was engaged with. Even the Indian guy.
Yeah, who was actually an Indian guy.
Right. So everyone had their moments that I'm just like, it's amazing how well this is all crafted.
This movie, I cry at Disney movies.
Yeah.
But this movie made me cry in a different way. Not out of sorrow, but of just, oh my God, they finally got it right. This movie is finally here.
Right.
A movie that actually inspires a modern day audience. Mm-hmm. That reminds them of values you had when you were kids.
Right.
That shows the full life cycle of a growing adult. Because you see her from the time that she's nearly a baby to her growth as an adult. And she's not dumb.
Right.
She's just naive.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets some things wrong, but she's amazingly strong, but she's very, very well principled.
Right.
And strong-hearted in her passion and belief about, we have to stop this war, we have to stop Ares. The war to end all wars is coming, and you're not safe here. You know, and he's got the lasso of truth on him, so he's not lying. So like, well, this is bad. We should do something, and we need to get this book back because the book has all the secrets.
Right.
So she decides I have to go. And in the modern day thing, there's a tweaking of the story. Her mom lets her go, and she goes.
Right. No bows and bracelets, which we saw in the Wonder
training,
Woman.
Yeah,
and then it's fine.
The audition thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't. And there's
you don't need it.
No visible jet, so we're good with that. So yeah, there are elements you don't need to put in to still tell a compelling story.
But the thing is that this movie gets away with so many digs in a society. They hold like, well, why did you come out here? Well, they stole my land. Who stole your land? His people. Like, oh God, did you? And then later on, there's a line with the the guy with the turban. I'm sorry,
Saeed.
Yeah. What have you? It's like, well, what were you doing before this? I want to be an actor, but I'm the wrong color. I'm like, wow, these are really adult issues that we're addressing in a superhero movie.
Right.
And yet the thing is that you're so involved in it, you get it.
Right. It doesn't beat you. It just says what it is and moves on.
But the thing is that also Wonder Woman makes a mistake, which we all do in real life. You're naive, you believe in things, and then you get shot down.
Right.
Because reality is hard.
Yeah.
And it happens to her, and it's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But there's moments where she's like, I don't know what to do. I could have killed Ares, you stopped me. And then the village is destroyed, the village where she's made friends with people.
Right.
And she goes back there, and she's upset.
And she has sex.
Yeah, that was before. That was a weird thing. I was like, don't you do that. Don't you close that door. Don't you. Oh, okay. Well, you died at the end, so it's okay.
Diana, I left you a present 9 months later. Although, I'm like, no, we're not going to get a...
I think it would have been funny about I've read all 12 volumes of such a thing, and like, in the end, men are okay, but they don't pleasure.
Yeah.
They're good for procreation. And I was like, that would have been funny if they had a line about that after, but no. That would cheapen the experience.
Right.
But
and it was like, you understood that both of them never had it. They never had that moment together. They never had their own moments to know what it's like to be...
The family, right? Because they talk about that. Like,
right.
so what happens is, well, you get married, you pop out a few kids, and then,
right.
Blah, blah. Well, what's that like? I don't know what that's like.
Right.
So it's not part of my life.
Right. So at least they had that one moment together, so it's acceptable to sleep with someone that's not married to. Just like on the boat. It's like, well,
I'll sleep with you. I'll sleep next to you. Yeah, okay.
It's like he had issues with that, and like, don't be stupid. Just fucking sleep here.
No, but he's got the James Bond spy thing up on, even though it's well before. I'm a spy. I'm a spy.
All right. So here's the other thing. Bringing up the whole spy thing. An American officer working for British intelligence.
We're just doing. When we plays the German character, he's just. And he was asked about this. He's just doing Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones.
Right.
That's all he's doing. He was so fun. I mean, what would Harrison Ford do? How would he say this line?
Tapestries. It's a castle. Don't you have tapestries here?
The Mickey Mouse line, you didn't throw that in, but that's fun.
So, again, there's a lot more positive things that I can see out of this movie rather than my little nitpicks, again, with the airy stash and less than climactic ending.
I thought it was funny that, so Steve dies, your friends are getting gunned down, Steve dies, you get really upset, you scream with rage, and then you become a cup topper. She jumps out, holds her hands out like...
No, she becomes Percy Jackson. And shoots the lightning. That's how you should do lightning
things. I can catch this and throw it back at you. Like, oh, God, all right, let's get this over with. Keep going, you have to win.
And so...
I like the God Killer thing. The God Killer is just it's not
right.
that. You have to kill it, which my friend who came with me, Laura, she knows more about mythology than I do.
Yeah, the same thing with Jen.
She saw it, she was like, yeah, that's not going to do it.
Right.
And he just disintegrates, and he's like, but you're a god, you can kill me.
Yeah. But Jen knew that the God Killer was Wonder Woman all along. She knew that.
Yeah. So. Laura was like, it's always, it's even in Harry Potter. I'm like, what do you mean? The basilisk, he gets killed with his own tooth. I'm like, all right, you obviously read more than I did.
Reading is fundamental. That's what it's all about, boys and girls. So aside from that, here's the other question I have for you. She's working where? At the Louvre?
Yes.
Okay. But then at the end of the movie, she's flying over London. Isn't that correct? Because I thought she was flying like over the London Bridge.
I have no idea. I don't want to nitpick this movie. Like,
I know.
Okay, so let me understand. This Themyscira is just one night away from London. Is that what happened?
I guess.
Yeah, because it's very.
It's somewhere in the
They
middle.
missed some details, but it's fine. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't nitpick it.
Just like, okay, so if I just lean in, it's like the battle scene from Phantom Menace, in which they don't repel anything slow from entering the shield, but if you throw something really hard at it, it'll deflect it. Which I'm like, but it should have deflected the airplane then.
There are questions like, okay, there's more ships out there. Wouldn't you think they'd radio for help? Found
Not
women,
just the two
have
or three
spy, yeah,
airboats out there, just like, hey, what happened?
That little frigate, no, they. Okay, the whole like, yeah, we have to go. No, okay, I'm not going to be Themyscira unprotected. That's a damn good point, because after the whole thing's done, you come back, the Themyscira is gone because it got leveled by Germans that followed up. Like, yeah, we're here. We couldn't find this.
That's Wonder Woman
Where's
Part
the book?
2.
No. And the thing is, how old is Wonder Woman now? If she's a child from the start of World War One,
Or before then, who knows?
right, and she's currently alive now, she's over 100 years old, and she doesn't age anymore. Frozen in time. That's kind of weird.
Or she can age, but at a slower rate outside of Paradise Island. I don't know. Who cares?
Questions?
So aside from that,
Your question, yes.
the question is, what's going to happen, or what happened to her between Batman versus Superman, because her costume is a little bit more monotone.
She has another sword, oddly.
Another sword. Why did she not help humanity? Or at least it seemed as if she gave up, and now she came back. So my thinking is that because of what happened with Ares, and she's like still fighting the good fight, but after a while something happened for her. It's just like, you know what?
She says in Batman vs. Superman that she's fought aliens before.
Right.
Or fought these other worlds before. So that's got to be whatever that is.
Right.
And that's got to pull her out of time, or for a while, or
Yeah.
because it's all got to be connected.
Right. And that's fine. And I'm hoping that that's what they do. But you still got an 80 years worth of storytelling you still do in between stories.
You got a 3-year gap. You'll be fine. You're doing Justice League. We'll figure that out when it comes. I'm not going to worry about it too much.
Yeah. So, but other than that, no problems overall. Music great, costume great. This is definitely a Blu-ray edition.
See it again in the movie theater.
Yeah, at least
I want to see it again in the movie theater, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Every blockbuster gets most people in the seats at least once.
Yeah.
To become a true blockbuster, you got to get in twice to 3 times, which I will see this again.
Yeah. So the next movie that's coming out this week is the
Mummy.
The Mummy, which hopefully the Mummy does not go as well.
It's not. The reviews that are coming out already are just kind of lukewarm.
Well, considering what they're trying to set up their little
The dark
Universal,
universe.
yeah.
No, that logo sucks.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, but aside from that, I again can't be more than happier for this movie.
I was pleased. It inspired me. It made me laugh. It made me cry. What's the like quote? No. It really surprised me.
Yeah.
It made me feel good about myself as a human being. It sat there and I was able to relate to it, and it touched my past and made me remember difficult times, and to see a character that you believe in overcome those things is because there's instant relatability when you see something that you've gone through, even through a different eye. But I really enjoyed that, and the fact that she was able to find the strength to overcome that will give me strength in the future when I face similar situations again and again and again. Because the whole subconscious lesson behind the movie was be young, try, and then it's like
fail.
Right? Why do you do all those push-ups? You do push-ups to get back up again.
Right.
That's what the whole thing is. That's the movie really showed me, and it was great because it was a woman director. I look forward to seeing Wonder Woman's little girls dressed up as Wonder Woman this Halloween, and it empowered them. It empowered just them mostly, but just general audiences overall, it's wonderful to see that.
Right.
It's really nice. It was a good movie for that.
So my worry is that with still more movies still to come out until 2020, are we going to get the fatigue of superhero movies? I mean, this was a big deal. At least it made it in. So whatever happens afterwards, at least we have this.
We can go back to this as a
Right.
shelter. Like, it's raining, crap. Let's go back to the Wonder Woman movie.
Right. But that's the worry, because 2020, by that time we've already seen Infinity Wars 1 and 2, Justice League Part 2, Green Lantern Corps, who knows? But I would love to see another Wonder Woman sequel.
But this left an impression on you, just like Guardians of the Galaxy. You waited 3 years for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and you went in droves back to it because you knew it was good.
Right.
You'll do the same thing.
And hopefully it won't disappoint.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it won't be a summer opener, because some of them are never that good. You're like, all right, and the season's officially begun with this lame-ass film. It's never as good. Cause
this is the movie that really has saved DCEU. Suicide Squad did its job to...
It got an Oscar, but it was a mess.
Right. It was a step in a less darker way, although it was dark in general.
But its story fell apart.
I know. But the point is that it had a hit, a genuine hit. Not like, it's much better than Superman and Batman fighting. No, it was much better than a lot of other superhero movies in general. So that's what I think is more impressive, is the fact that as much as we love Marvel, it really told a better story a lot of better ways than the other ones did. So I'm really happy this happened, especially in our lifetime. And again, I can't wait to get some more Wonder Woman figures on my desk. And I'll just leave it at that. Although I don't think I would be as enamored with Gal, although there are some moments, and yes, I am, but still Linda Carter is my Wonder Woman. As cheesy as it was.
That's a time thing.
It is.
That was Linda Carter was the first woman that I knew as a young man growing up that made me realize that women can be helpful, attractive, beautiful, and good-hearted, right? Yeah. And competent and just sweet.
Yeah.
And she, later, yeah. Anyway, that's she helped me become a man. No, okay, in odd ways. It's like there's a quote Carrie Fisher said recently that she met some fan. She was in her long after Star Wars, and some fan came up to her and said, "I've thought about you for the past 20 years ago, 20 years every day for like 4 or 5 minutes a day," and she was like, "That's great." It's a strange story.
What I would say to her, I can beat it by 2. But that's the kind of thing, is that when I saw her with Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Fallon, and I saw a side of her that I'm like, you know what, she's likable.
Your legs are weak. You're weak.
And she's funny. And seems like there's nothing really ingenuous.
No, she's pure.
Yeah.
She's pure Gal Gadot. But the thing is, she just plays Gal Gadot.
Right.
Wonder Woman. You're Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman, which is just
in this costume.
Right. And you've done the training. Just hit these marks, you'll be fine. But she's only got like 1 or 2 movies under her belt.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But you're a star now.
Major star. Although.
And you will protect the honor of Wonder Woman just like Carrie Fisher did Princess Leia till she gets older.
But could she see her doing something else other than Wonder Woman?
She can try. I don't know if that's going to fly.
Because she did a comedy movie.
Yeah, Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Didn't do that much, but I'll see her now.
She's an action star. She can hit them. She can do fire guns and this. Yeah, but it's just... No, you can't do that now. You're a Wonder Woman. You've now been typecast. You have to do nice, pure things, otherwise people are going to look at you weird.
But you have a long career. Look at Linda Carter. She's in a couple episodes of Supergirl.
And she keeps singing.
But still, she looks fantastic. She's still in the public's eye. You cannot think about Wonder Woman without thinking about Linda Carter. So
I think that may be a generation.
I know, but I would like to see this generation have the exact same feeling like with James Bond. This is your James Bond. This is your Wonder Woman for your generation. So
in every generation. A Wonder Woman is born. Are we going that way?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Your fucking Buffy references.
I'm a pop culture dork. What do you want?
I know. You love it too much. She's dead.
Oh, no, her career is dead. Please, Freddie Prinze, can I be on your show? Sure. Oh, it's terrible.
We're going to do Rebels now. Hey, honey, you can get me a job? Yeah, fine.
My Tupperware stuff isn't selling for babies.
Shut up. All right, so we're good. All right.
Thank you.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at esonetwork.com.